madness. Children playing, having fun. This season, Kingston Gozy Christmas. Merry Christmas, everyone.
I feel like that would have been a lot better had I joined in.
Yeah, well, it's okay. I made up the words myself just then. But it is Gigs and Ghosts, Season 3, Episode 6, final one of the season. And I thought, hey, since the final episode of the season, we're coming up to Christmas, I want to get a very, very special guest in. But Brian Clem was busy. I was like, fuck, who can I get in? And then I was out last week, I believe it was. And this guy came up to me and I was like, hey, Mike, can I be on your show?
That is exactly how I sound.
I was like, yeah, you can. So, ladies and gentlemen, this week's guest, closing out Season 3, he is the Reverend Blue Jeans. He is the Throat Puncher. He is a handsome liar. He is Davey Clegg.
Hello,
Davey. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Still believe the Earth's flat?
100%. There's no way you can convince me otherwise.
Cool. Thank you for joining us, and Merry Christmas. We'll see you next season. So, David, I take it you've listened to the podcast?
No, I deliberately didn't.
You've not listened to it?
No, I'm going to do after we've done this.
Yeah, that's good.
As soon as I knew that there was a possibility I might come on here, I was like, I don't want to listen to anybody else's because I know I'm not going to be as entertaining as other people.
Oh, man, no, we've had some really dull people.
Oh, good.
So don't worry.
Who was the dullest?
Would you say Steve?
I'm not saying anything.
Yeah. I mean, Tim was surprisingly funny.
I can believe Tim was funny.
Shocked me because in real life, not funny at all. But we got a couple of drinks down him, and he seemed to have a nice time. Yeah, but I enjoyed having Tim here, which is a first. So, David, what we're going to do, how we do this is we're going to start at the beginning of the start, when you were born on your birthday.
Okay.
And we'll talk about how you started in life and how you got your start in music and where you've been in music, where you are in music, where you're going to go in music.
Okay, that'll be a fun one.
And then, after that, we're going to look into the world of the paranormal, the ghosts, the spooks.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Also, I put out earlier on the Gigs and Ghosts socials that you were this week's guest, and we did have a question sent in.
No.
Yeah. So we won't do the question just yet, but it's for later.
Okay, I'm so intrigued as to who wants to know anything about me.
I was shocked, man. I was shocked. Yeah, I was like, wow, there you go. Good question too.
I am trying to think who it could have possibly been that would ask a question about me.
I don't know.
Was it my dad?
I don't know. It could be.
No, it
No, I don't know this person. They just sent them a thing and they sent me a question. It seemed like an interesting question, so we will get it. It's a music question as well. So
no way.
Yeah. So, David, let's start at the beginning. How did you, the Clegg Dave, get your start in the world of music?
Well, you, basically. I was doing nothing until I met you.
Wow. Ain't that just the sweetest thing?
And that continues to this day.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't book me, I don't play, really. That's a lie. So I basically started out, like everybody, they learn to play guitar at 16, and then they start a band.
I can't play guitar, so that's not true.
Yeah, but everybody who plays guitar starts at 16. That's a fact.
Is that a fact?
That is an actual fact, yeah.
Okay.
There's no alternative to that at all. We all start at 16 and we all start a band that sounds a bit like Nirvana, but not very good. And that's what I did. So that was Evil Eye.
You started with Evil Eye, because that's the first time I saw you. It was Tim, actually, the last episode's guest. He was like, I've seen this band of kids. They called Evil Eye, and I was like the Fu Manchu song is like, oh yeah, totally like that.
Yeah, so that was the intention, because I've always loved Fu Manchu, and I wanted it to sound like that. But being 16, you just end up, like I say, sounding like Nirvana. So it was good to a point, but it was very adolescent, and it was like everybody's first band. It needed work, and he'd never had the chance to get that. Like we were just sort of coming up, and we did an album. We did a video with Ash.
Ash TV. I
Ash
remember the
TV.
video. I remember there being a TV set in it.
There were lots of were there lots of TV sets? I remember there was one we were going to smash it, and then we all got scared because we thought we were going to get electrocuted, so we didn't.
Was it plugged in?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could have done.
Yeah, we could have done. So that was Ash, who I was drinking with last night. We got very drunk.
Excellent.
It was
Excellent.
good.
What was the occasion?
We just wanted to meet up and go around Brighouse and not get stabbed, and we managed.
Well, good time.
It was good. It was really cold,
Yeah.
and when I was walking home, because I was drunk and cold, I was making involuntary noises. So I was this like a 6'2" bearded man, like just tramping through Brighouse on his own. I was like the modern day Jack the Ripper.
I mean, everyone I've talked to this last few days has gone, it's fucking cold, isn't it? I'm going, yeah, weird for July, right? It's fucking December, mate. Of course it's cold. But I'm not enjoying it.
No.
When I opened the curtains the other morning and saw snow, I was really pissed off. Well, last night I was talking to my friend, do you know Soap Girls?
Yeah.
The guitarist. I was talking to her last night, and I was sending her a picture of the snow.
Right.
And my dick.
Yeah.
No, just edit, delete. No, so yeah, and she was sending me back of hers, and she lives in Cape Town, and it looks a lot nicer there than it does here. I've got to tell you that.
I'll bet.
Yeah, so I was very upset. Do you get that disorder called SAD, seasonal disorder?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always sad, but I need to stop listening to The Cure. But no, like I do get that. Like, if it's my favourite weather is when it's cold and sunny, jacket and sunglasses weather. That is the perfect weather to me. Anything other than that is just not acceptable.
What about warm and sunny? That's my favourite.
Yeah, but my problem is I do not look good when I have less clothes on.
I mean, you don't have to take your clothes off. You can.
Yeah, but it gets really warm and you want to, right? Like, you ever see those guys that walk around with their shirts off? You think, you fucking dickhead. Yeah. But you're kind of jealous because you're like, I kind of want to take my shirt off as well.
Not the chav ones. Like, it gets like 15 degrees, like, yeah, top off. I look at my nips.
Yeah. Shirtless kind of Stella crowd.
Yeah. But so, Evil Eye, how long did that last?
I think, between 3 and 5 years. I have
so 4 years.
Yeah, we'll say 4 years. I can't remember, like, anything that far back I struggle to remember.
Yeah.
So yeah, that broke up.
What happened? Why did it break up?
So the bass player wanted to move on to different things. I think he was sick of me hearing new bands and then going, I want to do a song like them. And around that time, that's when I met Ben from
Ben Janet.
But the
Pretty Machine.
The artist formerly known as Ben Janet.
Yeah, what's it now? Ben Scuba.
It's a complete rebranding. It's going to be called Mouth Pounder. and if that does not come true in the next 12 months, I will call myself Mouth Pounder.
But when Evil Eye broke up, the bassist left. Is he the one you thought was a massive jerk?
No.
That the drummer?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
What was he called?
He was called
Mikey Shiraz.
We were great friends for a long time, and then his head disappeared up his ass. And
Limber.
Literally, this actually happened.
He wore himself as a hat.
He probably got lots of bad shit to say about me as well. Yeah. But like, we were kids.
Well, welcome him.
Mikey Shiraz.
That's
He's suffocated up his own asshole.
Yeah. He just, like, I don't know, he just became very pretentious, and the whole thing became unpleasant. I can remember, like, bringing songs to practice, being the only one in the band that wrote songs, and he'd sit there and judge it, and I distinctly remember one day him going, doesn't strike me, and I'm like, you cunt, fucking write something yourself then. Like, I get if you don't like it, you're entitled not to like it. But fucking write something better yourself, and he couldn't because he was a drummer and a hack.
And with his head inside his anus.
Yeah, and then the next time I saw him, he was in a band called the Voodoo Poets, and they sucked. Like they were all middle class white guys, which is like the least voodoo thing. Yeah. I believe the poet bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was nothing voodoo about them. They fucking sucked. And then that was the last time I saw him.
Good. So any messages, anything you want to send out to Mikey Shiraz, in case he's listening?
I hope you're doing good, man. I really do.
Oh, that's not what I thought you were going to say.
Yeah, nah, man. Like I already did way too much slagging off. I always I never wanted to be that guy who slags other people and bands off, but he
Oh, I've always been that guy.
yeah.
I think
No.
it's good fun.
Oh, I am that guy, but like this is on a podcast, isn't it?
Yeah.
So-
So, nobody who listens to this. So, no. This episode, no edits.
Are you sure about that? Christmas special. There needs to be some edits.
Nope.
I haven't said anything libelous. Like it can be proven he was a cunt. So there we go.
Yeah. So then you met Ben and Janet, him of giant balls.
Yep, not a cunt. He is a fucking great guy. It remains to this day like one of my best friends.
Great chin.
The best chin. I don't think I've seen a chin that good since Bruce Campbell.
Do you know Alistair?
Do I know Alistair?
Well, it's at Arcade. It
No.
is. Great chin.
I'm gonna go to Arcade just to see this chin.
Yeah, honestly, his chin's fantastic.
I'm not gonna buy anything from there though. I might do it another time, but I might just go in, stare at the chin, not explain why I'm doing that, and
Go.
then leave.
So what did you and Ben do?
We drank a lot.
Yep.
And we got into all sorts of situations, and then we decided to start a band. I can't remember did the Pretty Machine ever like formally split up, or did they just stop doing gigs?
I think they
very
just stopped doing gigs.
Yeah. So me and him did something called the band was called Love Tornado, and we did.
Oh, I remember Love Tornado. Jesus. Yeah.
And that had like a revolving door of local musicians, but like it sort of settled on me, Ben, and Carl, better known for being a podcast guest.
He was on episode 1.
Yeah. I don't know what else he's done.
That's it.
That's that. I thought
That
so.
is it.
I thought so.
He was in Shiraz for a bit, but got sacked, didn't he?
Yeah.
Being racist.
Yeah. Oh, that's going to happen, isn't it?
Vintage Carl. KK Carl.
So yeah, Love Tornado happened, and then that became Planet Janet.
Yep.
Which that had more legs to it. Like Love Tornado was a few gigs at the parish over a year period.
Yep.
Planet Janet, we actually got gigs elsewhere and did an album and stuff, and that was me, Ben, Carl, and Rob Taylor from
Sesame Street.
Sesame Street. Yeah,
Because he does look like...
exactly like
looks like
Bert,
Bert from
and his
Sesame
name's
Street.
Bert.
Yeah,
so-
you see.
I think he was the inspiration for Bert, if I'm not wrong.
I think you are correct there, yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, so that Tropical Contact, by the way, it was Tropical Contact, the band he was in. He that was a good band. Weird name. I don't know why we went with Planet Janet. Well, yeah, but that's not a reason to name a band. But we did end up with a good album title of Janetalia. So.
Yeah.
Really? I listened to it again the other day, and I was thinking, I'm gonna cringe at this, and I did at my own lyrics. But the album's good. The album's
Give me some of your best lyrics.
Oh no!
No. You know we're up at wide now.
I can't remember. Like at one point, it was this angry song. It was called "You Should See the Other Guy."
I remember that song.
It was a good song, but the lyrics were foul. They were just the worst.
What were they?
What did it say? I just remember there was one bit where I say, "Go fuck yourself, you don't exist," and when I listened to that back, I was like, "Yeah, that doesn't work. If someone didn't exist, why would I tell him to go fuck himself?"
Doesn't work for a ghost podcast, does it?
No.
So yeah,
Well, I mean, it's all part of Life's Rich Tapestry shit lyrics. I mean, one of the first songs that Shiraz ever wrote, this was in 1999, was called Green Banana Girl. What is it? She ain't quite right. She ain't quite ripe. She's going around this town lying about her age. She's a green banana girl. Green banana girl. Green banana girl. Terrible.
that could be worse.
Yeah, that was bad. We did one called Bowick Grana Wheat Ninibom.
Oh, okay.
For about
yeah. One of the best movie soundtracks ever done.
That and Rocky 4.
Rocky 4, Dumb and Dumber is a good soundtrack. We talked about this last night.
Batman Forever.
Right, okay, I need to know if
Godzilla had a fucking great
Godzilla
soundtrack.
did have a great
Yeah.
soundtrack.
Yeah.
I can't remember the other one. I can't remember which one you said now. I can't remember which
Batman
one.
Forever.
Batman Forever, no. Was that the one with you too? Kiss Me, Kill Me?
Hold me, kiss me, kill me, thrill me.
Yeah. Oh, Bono.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Mike is more, yeah!
I don't do it as much as people say.
Yeah.
We had a count, and it's not that often.
Do you do it more live?
No.
I should know this because I played with you recently.
You did?
I wasn't listening to you. I was just listening to myself go, don't make any mistakes.
Yeah, for the listeners, Davey stood in for Tim at Handfest at the Dome in London the other month. That was a great gig.
It was amazing. I had a great time.
Yeah, I ended up extremely drunk.
And I left a guitar and I made you carry it home.
And it was the heaviest guitar.
I know it is.
Did I tell you about what happened on the train home?
Well, what happened on the train home?
So I woke up in my Airbnb and Tilson at random hand had to come back to the Airbnb with me. I don't know why. He doesn't know why. I think he missed the bus to his hotel or whatever.
Right.
And at 6 in the morning, he woke me up going, Mike, get your hands off my ass. And I was full cupping his ass, right? I was like, oh, sorry. And
Just cupping.
just holding, proper holding.
Oh, right.
Yeah, proper like, yeah. Like, this is my baby maker.
I'm sure it wasn't a random hand.
No, it was definitely mine. And then we fell back asleep. Then I woke up about 2 hours later and I was full spooning him.
Oh, okay.
I was like, I'm so sorry. He was like, I kind of just gave up and it felt nice eventually. I was like, cool.
When you said I'm so sorry, were you still spooning him at the time?
Yeah.
I'm not going to let go, but...
I was whispering, I'm so sorry. But we got up. He went to meet the rest of the band and I went to the train station, got on my train, fell asleep. I'm on the train home, just fast asleep. I got rudely awakened by my own butt trumpet. Really loud. I was like, oh. And it took me about 5 seconds to realise I'm on a packed carriage with a really heavy guitar and I've just done a tequila fart as loud as fuck. So I just felt myself going really hot and red. And I was just like looking at the floor going, oh no. And then, that was that.
I love that story. Like, I knew the bit about you cupping Tilson's ass. Yeah. I didn't know any of the other stuff.
Yeah.
That was great.
Well, it's like we'd ended up at Aces and Eights for the after show, which
Right.
I don't remember much of, but there were more people there than I remember because I remember seeing my Instagram messages the next day and it was like, people from like JB Conspiracy saying, "Oh, wicked to see you last night. Thanks for all the tequila. So and so was sick in his Uber." Like, I was like, "What do they mean? All the tequila?" And then I opened my Monzo. I was like, "Oh, that's what they mean."
Oh shit!
Yeah, I just sold my house and like I was showing off. I think, London prices. And I think I must have bought like 20 shots of tequila over like an hour.
Oh man.
Yeah, acted like Billy Big Balls.
Yeah.
But it was a good day and I was in a good mood.
I saw you the night after because we played the wrestling after show at the parish. And yeah, you did. And I, from what you said, I was expecting you to look like death. And you were just like, nah, it's just another day. And it was,
just another day, baby. Just another day. I was sad because I'd done a big old fart, and that means in my head my rom-com moment of falling in love with somebody in a train was not going to come true.
Well,
because somebody who's like just into the smell of tequila farts going, "Hey, you're my kind of guy."
Excuse me, I just heard that fart you did, and I've never been more aroused.
It smells and tastes fantastic.
The Metro rush hour crush for the next day is like farty man on train.
Yeah. Train trumper. Four. But anyway, we've got off. So where did we get to? Tropical Contact.
We did Planet Janet. And then we did an album launch gig that was also our last ever show.
I remember because we just painted the venue floor and you guys ruined it by making your backdrop with spray paint, which went through weirdly the thin sheet onto the floor.
So this isn't me just trying to get out of something. I genuinely wasn't involved in that, but that sounds exactly like something Carl would do.
Oh, I walked in and there was Ben and Carl doing it, and then they looked at me, both going, "Ooh,"
like 3-year-olds who've just like taken a rock to the side of the car. Did I do wrong? I've done this for you.
So how come you broke up on your launch?
I can't remember. I seem to think it was something to do with there just being too many egos in that band, mine included. Like, at that age, like, at 23, 24 years old, like, I was just a dickhead.
Yeah.
Carl definitely was.
Yeah. And on. And
me and him, for some reason, we used to argue and fight all the time. Like now, like I proper love that dude, and I think he loves me too. But but yeah, like we, I don't know, we were just at each other's throats all the time. And then after we broke up, we were like, why did we fall out? I don't know. It was the stupidest thing.
Yeah.
But then obviously Ben went on to make Tropical Contact. Didn't bring me along with him. Probably because I'm not very good at guitar.
You did play a few gigs for them, though, didn't you?
No, I played a few gigs for Fierce Ideas.
Ah, yes, the one after Tropical Contact.
Yes, yeah. So I was in them for a while. That was good. We did Broodnell and we did Camden, and then that was it for me.
Yeah, was it the Black Art you played?
Yeah, Black Art.
Was Tim in the band as well? Dr. Lipteeth Tim?
No. So Tim... who we will talk about Tim later when we get onto the Reverend Blue Jeans section. No, this was what we're talking about. Fierce Ideas. So we're talking me, Ben, Richie and Ash. So
yes, from the Pretty Machine.
From the Pretty Machine.
And Ash TV.
Yeah, and then just a revolving door of lead guitarists. It'd either be Joe Gallagher from Tropical Contact or it'd be Carl.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was fun while it lasted. I thought I was going to be... And I was playing bass as well, so, like, you know, I could have a drink when I was playing, because there's not to it, is there?
That's just root notes, isn't
Yeah,
it?
exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, that was good fun, and then I thought it was going to go on, and... it just didn't.
They did. They just sacked you.
Oh, yeah.
They just didn't tell you.
Yeah. That makes sense, too.
Sorry to go off on a tangent. And that just reminded me of we used to have a trombone player, and we didn't fire him. We just stopped telling him when practicing gigs were. The worst part was that he was my trumpet player's brother.
No, right. So you weren't just getting rid of the brass section; you just didn't want him.
Yeah, and then the brass section left, of course.
Was it him, or was it the instrument? Like, no trombones in this band anymore, or was it him?
He just wasn't cool enough.
Yeah, you gotta be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like 6 foot odd, lanky, ginger as a day is long.
Oh, okay. So
He
sexy
played in brass bands.
Okay.
But now he drives a sports car.
Yeah, it's all that trombone money, isn't
It
it?
is. He could play Johnny Briggs, which was fucking cool.
Well, there you go. That'll be how we got the sports car. Like, it's that guy playing Johnny Briggs.
Yeah, he is.
Give him a Lambo.
And the chicks go wild.
Yeah.
So what happened after you got sacked from Fierce Ideas?
A long period of inactivity where I just drank. Like
alcohol or water or just anything.
Alcohol.
Paint.
Alcohol, yeah. I was just a fucking drunk. Like, just for years. And, continues to this day. So for age, I had genuinely thought about just packing in music because I just had no inspiration anymore. And then, just for a laugh, I wrote a country song called I Had No Idea You Were an Owl.
Which is still one of my favourite songs. Not by you, by anybody ever. I remember the first time I heard that song and I was just blown away. I mean, you might have done some shitty lyrics in the past, but the lyrics on that song, I don't like to throw this word around. Fucking genius, man. Absolutely. Could you explain what that song is?
That song is about the feeling you get when you fall in love with somebody really special, but you're just not aware of the fact that they're a bird of prey. So, yeah, it just came to me.
That's not a metaphor either.
No, literally an owl.
An owl.
Yeah. So Oh, Callum. I can't believe you. I can't believe.
It's Christmas!
You say that, but Calvin just shouted it's Christmas in case you didn't hear it. But he hasn't even opened the first day of his calendar.
Yeah.
What piece of shit.
I did.
What, Callum's?
No, mine.
I opened mine.
Yeah, what did you get?
It's an insulting calendar that my brother got at me. It's the first day you open it, and the door just goes, "You're a dick," and then there's a piece of chocolate.
Oh.
Shaped like a dick.
Oh, mine's Milky Bar.
Ooh, the worst of the chocolates.
Really?
Are you a big Milky Bar fan?
Yeah.
This is why your band's failed.
I'll tell you why it is. Because, you know, the guy I mentioned previously who's a cunt?
Yeah.
He looks like the Milky Bar kid.
Oh, I'm thinking of Milky Ways. Sorry.
Oh, right.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, Milky Bar's all right.
No, I'm not a psychopath. Give me a Milky Bar Milky Way advent calendar. That'd be good as fuck.
Milky Way did have the best song on an advert.
Yeah.
The red guy around the blue guy had a race.
Yeah.
It's a bit like Handsome Liars to country.
Sort of.
Yeah. But the Owl song. Yeah, and that was because you were Handsome Liars then.
No, so I released it initially I was going to release it under the name Reverend Blue Jeans. Then what happened is really fucking confusing and all my fault. Basically, I started releasing a bunch of country stuff under the name Handsome Liars and a bunch of rock stuff under the name Reverend Blue Jeans and the Throatpunchers. A massive misstep on my part, which I have now rectified. But kind of lost what few fans I had in the process. I distinctly remember when we opened Physique.
Yeah.
Thanks again, by the way.
You are welcome.
Literally one of my favourite bands ever, and I got to open for them.
And we're going to talk about Zeke in a bit, so we won't go into that yet because that was fantastic.
That's fine. And so, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I can remember this. We'd played this country festival, and God Almighty, I fucking hate country music.
But you were writing country
I
music
like
and releasing
traditional country music, but what it is now is a joke. It's awful.
What is it now?
It's like that pop country stuff, like Friday night, taking my girl for a ride, and all that sort of shit. It's all the fucking
And what
same.
did it used to be? Saturday night, I'm feeling sad.
That's right.
Because my girl's dead.
Yeah, and so am I. Like that. That sort of thing. And so, yeah, I like traditional, like Johnny Cash. I like Johnny Paycheck. I like Dolly Parton. Who doesn't like Dolly Parton? But this modern stuff,
Russians.
fucking it's gross. And I'm on this festival backstage with I don't know who anybody is because I don't follow it, but they're clearly stars. They look incredible. They're warming up their voices and sounding incredible.
Yeah.
Next to do that anymore. It just all sounds like Shania Twain and shit. You know.
No fucking wrong with Shania Twain.
That's true. That's true. It's not as good as Shania Twain.
You know, she has her blood washed.
What?
Every few months, she has her blood taken out. It gets cleaned and put back in.
That seems really wasteful. What does she replace it with? Blood? Or?
Yeah. I mean, she looks fucking great though.
Oh well, maybe that's the secret then.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
I saw about a billionaire the other day, and he has transplants of his 17-year-old son's blood. This billionaire said because he's trying to stay young.
So what does a 17-year-old ever say in this?
Probably not.
It's blood time, bitch.
Get in the bed. Time for the blood. Yeah.
So yeah, they're doing all these vocal warm-ups. I didn't warm up and blew out my voice in the first song.
Excellent.
So I'm stood. It's 11:30 in the morning. And I'm thinking, this is gonna go terribly. And in between my songs, you can hear on the other stages at this massive festival, you can hear these amazing singers just belting it out, and I'm like, put your baby in the bin. So it was going all right. It was weird though, because I can remember there were a lot of older folk and there were a lot of kids running around, and I was like, do I clean up my act? And the answer to that was no.
No, never do.
The best part of it was during one song, a wasp started buzzing around my guitar. And while I'm playing, it landed on the head of the guitar. I'm like, be a professional. just play through it. And that's what I started doing until the wasp flew straight towards my mouth. At which point, into the microphone, I went, "Fuck wasp."
And that's how you wrote your million-selling album, Fuck Wasp.
The guys that wrote Wild Child were like, what did we do? What did we do?
Did you go down well?
Yeah, surprisingly so. Like, some kid wanted me to sign his poster, but then was horrified when he realised
Your dick was out.
He realised we weren't on the poster. Yeah. Like, we were the only band that weren't on the poster. And I added us to the poster, and I did it real fucking big. Like, I took a lot of real estate on that poster. But it was good. My highlights from that were the Wasp thing. I introduced a song about I said, this is about my very real alcohol problem, and a man with a pint just turned around and walked away. I'm thinking, like, come on, man, don't worry, it's 11:30 in the morning, you got a pint, there's nothing wrong with that, you're on holiday.
Luke crying?
Yeah, but who goes to a country music festival and goes, oh, I don't want to hear about alcoholism? Yeah, it's on Friday night. Yeah.
But then didn't you do some gigs with Ginger Wildheart?
Yeah, they were really good. So that was, we were still on, the Handsome Liar's name was still on the country stuff at that point, which is confusing as shit. But yeah, so we were at Parish with him doing his solo stuff. And then his band Ginger Wildheart and the Sinners took us out on a couple of dates. We did Glasgow and Sunderland. Both awesome crowds.
Glasgow is always
excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the thing about Glasgow, like, I had loads of people say, oh, Glasgow, they don't like English there, and like,
fucking do.
Yeah, they loved us. Like, they were really, really good. And like, there were people doing the usual thing, the stereotyping, oh, Glasgow is rough, and it wasn't rough where we were at all. It's beautiful where we were. There was one thing, and it made me laugh my ass off, because after this first time ever going to Glasgow experience I had, this great gig, met loads of great people, and not one stereotypical thing about Glasgow happened until we were walking back to the hotel, and a guy was getting arrested. And the best thing about it was he was making a massive fuss. He was going, get the fuck off me and all this, and like really shouting and going, you're hurting me, you're hurting me. The best part about it was, at one point, in a Scottish accent, he went, ouch. like no irony in it. Like, ouch was actually his pain noise, like a Beano character. So that was fun for me.
When we were in Glasgow, I think it was last year, we were out on tour spotting Jaya, and the Glasgow gig, fucking banging.
Yeah,
and we went to a bar afterwards, us and those guys, and it was a great bar. Everyone was a lot of people who were at the gig were there, and we're all just drinking, and because we were in the band, we were getting cheaper drinks.
Yeah.
And then it was time to go back to his hotel. So we're all walking up, and I was like, they're all walking slow because, just pissed and a chat. I'm like, I'll just see you guys at the hotel, yeah? I know the way. So I started walking off, marching off, going, yeah. And then I was like, should have been at the hotel by now. My phone battery's died, so I can't get my map up. But, I'll just keep walking. I'll keep walking. Suddenly, I was in deepest, darkest Glasgow estates. I was like, fuck. This doesn't seem right. This doesn't seim right.
What have
and I started walking again, and I started seeing signs for the motorway. And Edinburgh, I was like, I've gone the wrong way.
I've just got to keep going.
So I turned round and I was walking. It must have been like 2.5 hours or something like that. I was like, fuck. And then I finally saw a taxi, and I ran over to this taxi, and I was like, can you help me? I'm trying to get to this hotel, blah, blah, blah. I jumped in, he's like, I'm not taking you there, you cunt. I was like, but why? I've been walking for ever so long. He was like, going, gosh, it's there. And we were outside my hotel. But luckily, both bands were still awake, and we partied a lot, and we almost got thrown out of the hotel because people were complaining and banging on the door.
Like the classic band hotel experience.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good time. It was wicked, but that was terrifying. I mean, I saw real Glasgow that night, and almost Edinburgh. And almost a motorway.
I do kind of wish you'd walk to Edinburgh.
The thing is, though, when the next morning, when I came out of the hotel and we were walking in to get some breakfast, the bar that we were at the night before, literally 2 minutes in a straight line down the road. Just right. Fucking hell, you could see it.
I just love it. Sorry, this podcast is going to be full of clicking noises from me.
It's fine. The microphones will be fine with it.
Oh, okay.
I audio edit anyway.
Oh, cool. So, yeah, I love your confidence in that, where you go, I'm fine. I'm just going to go to this place.
Yeah.
And walk to the city limits.
I think it was just after an hour when I was like, Daddy fucked up. But wait. Anyway, so you played country music festival, showed a kiddie dick, signed his post.
Nothing libelous, right?
There we go.
Yeah, weird names in bands. And then did ginger ones.
Mm-hmm.
He's ginger, so I can't dream. Smells of piss, no soul, the usual shit.
These are all facts.
I think it's in books. And then what happened?
Well, what happened then was I went to record with Dave Draper. Carol Hodge put me in touch with him. And being in the studio and going, right, I've got these rock songs that I want to do, made me realise, yeah, I'm kind of blending this. I'm doing this cowpunk thing, right? So they're like country songs, but to punk music. And it made me sort of go, this is fun, but I really want to just play like loads of guitar riffs and play really fast.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I just started doing. That made Neil leave the band.
Yeah, I always wondered what happened to Neil. And, Neil was the guy who like played the slide guitar.
Awesome guitar player.
Yeah, and he was always there, and then suddenly he wasn't there anymore.
So we're on good terms, and now that I've sort of properly separated Handsome Liars, rock band, Reverend Blue Jeans, country, cowpunk stuff, we can probably do something again. But when I was a one band man, like there was no way he was going to play all this riffy stuff. It's just not him. He's a jazz musician, right? So
Country jazz.
So he can play excellent, sort of really intricate stuff. But I'm like, I don't want you to do that. I want you to play a ripping solo over this fat riff that I've done. And he's like, okay, bye.
He's like, I'm a 58-year-old man.
If he listens to this, he's going to be so upset. He's nowhere near 58.
What is it?
Well, he's 51, 52.
57.
I was being nice. He's 57. He's 60.
But nice dude.
He's dead.
Lovely dude. Yeah. We'll be talking to him in the ghost.
So yeah, he left, and then I was like, oh shit, what did I do?
Why do all these people in bands leave? Maybe you're the issue.
I think so. But I got lucky in that I'd been pestering Bob, who was a guest.
He was.
I've been pestering him for ages. He's my favourite bass player. We have a lot of the same music tastes.
Sorry about that, Tori.
She's my second favourite bass player. He's my favourite because he likes Motorhead as much as I do, and Sabbath and all the sort of classic 70s rock that I like. And I was pestering him. He's like, I'm too busy. And persistence paid off. And I was like, look, I'm going to go and find a bass player unless on the 30th time of asking you say yes. And he cracked, and he came along, and he played, and he had a good time. And I'm so glad he did, because I didn't know any drummers. I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. And Ash had been helping out on drums for a while, but he's a busy man. He was just helping me get off the ground. And Bob just went, I know this guy, Ian. I'm going to bring him in.
And you were like, I know Ian too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we all know Ian, yeah.
But I hadn't really seen or met Ian for a long time, because back in the Evil Eye days, he was in Pin Pim, and so we would have known each other in passing. But as we all know, Ian likes to stay in the shadows
of my mind.
He doesn't. He's not the most social creature. So
no, he's not.
So we just didn't talk to each other for years. And so when he came in, I was like, who's Ian? And like when he came in, I was like, oh, that's who he is. And he's like, this guy has learned my songs, and I'm just learning who he is. So yeah, like from the word go, he came into practice and was just killing it on the drums.
He's a very good drummer.
He's insane. So all of a sudden everything started coming together, because where before I've been going, well, I kind of do this cowpunk thing, and this song I've got maybe a bit too heavy. Ian was like, stop being a fucking idiot, play me the riffs. And, and all of a sudden we start playing what I've always wanted to do, what Evil Eye was supposed to be, which was this mix of like Fu Manchu, Zeke, Super Suckers, Motorhead, all those bands that I love.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, I'm having the best fucking time playing music. I don't know why I didn't do it sooner. Probably because I'm stupid.
No, this is what's coming across.
Yeah.
It's kind of embarrassing.
But funnily enough, not for me. After that, we recorded the Hard Lines EP, which is out now on all good platforms. Now we're just on this fucking tear where I'm going, guys, I wrote another song, and they're going, we're still learning the last one. But yeah, we're looking to record a new album next year, and it will be fantastic.
Excellent. That's a nice time. Actually, should we do this question now that got sent in? Because otherwise I'll just forget.
Oh, yeah, I was supposed to remind you. But...
Yeah, it's okay. So, the question is from Terry Ginelli from the band Diamond Boys. Have you heard of these? And it's, to the best of your knowledge, what is your favourite flavour of Gino Ginelli ice cream? Is it mint chocolate chip, toffee fudge, or Uncle Bassano's secret? Also, Terry and Tejo of Diamond Boys would like to thank you, David, for working with Diamond Boys on their debut album, provisional title, Red Hot Mincer.
So I was not aware that was the provisional title. I am going to have words with Uncle Bassano.
So, which is your favourite of the ice creams? Mint chocolate chip, toffee fudge, or Uncle Bassano's secret?
It's Uncle Bassano's secret all day long. It's the best flavour you've never tried.
Are they sponsoring this episode or something?
Diamond Boys.
Yeah. That's the ice cream thing. I thought it was a real thing.
So,
Do you know Ginelli still a thing?
Yeah.
what is Diamond Boys?
Oh, you just have to wait and see. You know,
What's the secret?
You know, I talked about Ben rebranding his Mouth Pounder.
Yeah.
It's all part of this. It's all part of this whole thing.
Yeah.
It'll probably never happen.
But it sounds very fucking exciting.
Yeah, it's like nothing you've ever heard before because we haven't quite worked out what it is.
I've got some questions here.
Okay.
Biggest arsehole you've ever played with? Not in a band like Supported or Supported You or Scene.
I've already been really negative about someone on this podcast.
We're going to go the nice way after.
To be honest, everybody who I have found to be a shit has been kind of a nobody. Like, that doesn't really sit in line with what other people have experienced, because a lot of people like yourself and everybody else I know who've made successes out of themselves, unlike me, they've met a lot of bigger bands, bigger artists, bigger, more famous people, and they meet a lot of shitheads, and I kind of haven't.
That's good.
I've met a lot of good people. Don't get me wrong, there's some people where I look at them and go, you have no right to be on a stage, because they...
Who?
I'm not naming names. It's too close to home.
Whisper it. Mouth it to me.
No. No, because you'll just say it.
Let's say a pinky promise.
No, so I'll...
Will you tell me after?
Yeah.
We'll edit it in.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just like, when people brand themselves as fucking sleaze rock and immediately you go, you're going to be shit.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. And you see them and they swagger about like they are somebody.
Like they're fucking Doctanian.
Yeah, you're somebody in Leeds, you twat. Like that is as far as it goes.
They're from Leeds, that's all we're so far. That's good.
Yeah. And like I remember like they were swaggering about and like giving it the big man routine. And then I'd heard loads about them, loads and loads about them, but never seen them. And then I saw them play live and I was like, why does anybody give a fuck about you? Like you just put no effort in. Like the guitar player just look. No, it's not my.
I
think I've worked it out.
I just remember.
One I think the exact same about.
Interesting.
You can say it, I can bleep it out.
Hold up.
I have no idea. Yes.
Is it?
Yeah. Fucking hate them.
Yeah.
This is like the ghost picture, but for audio.
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean.
Just like swaggering around.
Don't get it.
Yeah.
Don't get it.
I don't get the appeal. I don't get how you can have a guitar player that looks like he's had enough, like on a stage. Like I just want to go there and go, like, mate, are you okay? Because he just like he looked like he wanted to be doing any. Yeah, man. Cheers. He looked like he wanted to be doing anything other than playing his guitar. Mm-hmm. I'm like, People have paid fucking money to see you, you cunt. Like that is completely bewildering to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, people like that I can't fucking stand.
Yeah. I get you. The best person you've met in music?
It's you.
Well, of course, exactly. But over them.
So Jason, the bass player from Zeke, like
Jason the Basin.
Jason the Basin. I know a Jason the Basin.
Was a dude.
He was fucking wonderful.
Cool.
Like
Yeah. Such a nice dude.
Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, like Zeke, one of my favourite bands since I've been a teenager.
Yeah.
So we were opening for him, so I didn't want to like be, oh guys, I'm such a big fan of yours and have been for a long time.
Yeah,
I didn't want to be that guy. But Bob kind of ruined that, I think, because unless he were joking, I think he told them. I think he told them I was a massive fan.
He did. I was there.
God damn it.
Yeah, I found it hilarious. Because you weren't there yet.
Yeah. I was on my way, and so I got there, and by the end, I will preface this by saying by the end of the night, everybody in that band had been nice to me. But at the start of the night, I thought I won't mill around and be awkward and stuff like that. I'll just go and like say hello and just make myself scarce. So I go backstage, and I go, hey guys, you all right? And they just stare at me
Like the slaughtered lamb in American Werewolf in London.
Yeah, it was just like that. And the singer, Marky, and
One of your heroes, you mean?
One
of your biggest heroes.
He's sat there warming up on guitar, and he never stops noodling. He's just going on an unplugged guitar. That's all you can hear, and he's just staring at me. So I just got a bottle of water and sort of went. And then, like, just a little, like, nod, and then, like, just left the room, and I was like, oh, God, this is awful. This is the worst. So it was good, though, because after that, I kind of stopped giving a shit. I was like, well, that's kind of the worst thing that could happen besides the whole audience hating me. And I don't think that's going to happen. So let's just go out there and play. And it really loosened me up, and it stopped me being in my own head. And we played a fucking great show that night.
You did. I thoroughly enjoyed you. I always do. Yeah, you're a very good band, and I wish you all the best over the next year. And
Thank you.
I hope your next record does good, and you do some good stuff and play lots of gigs.
I hope all those things too.
Yeah, so just fucking do it, man. Yeah. Don't piss any of your band off and make them quit.
Oh, I will. I desperately cling to them. I do merch orders, and it's like, oh yeah, we should split this 3 ways, but I'm not going to chase them for the money because I don't want them to leave. I don't want to upset them in any way.
You do have some wicked t-shirts. You have some great
Thanks.
merch. Who have you had do your art so far?
So we had there's a kestrel and snake design which I'm absolutely in love with, and that was Mother Ghoul. So Mother Ghoul is my friend Gemma, who's like her and Jason and that everybody sort of around our age group who's around the parish for the last 10, 20 years or whatever it is. They're part of that whole thing. They now have an awesome leather workshop in Marsden.
Oh, Jason the Bass. His
Jason
wife.
the Bass.
Yeah.
Yes, she designed that for me and did an incredible job. And then the other one we've got is the Scorpion design, which is taken from our EP, which is Dominic Soho, who does loads of like stoner rock and doom band. He's done like Orange Goblin, Raging Speed On, and little old me.
And who has not done any artwork for you? Who's an artist?
You, but do you remember I asked you to? Back when Handsome Lives was a country band.
Yeah.
And you drafted something up, and I was like, that's really good. If you want to finish that up, I'll send you some money, and you just never did.
It was finished.
Was it?
You offended him, that's what it was.
Yeah.
No, well, no, it was nice and everything. But, you just could have just used a bit of something
We
extra.
could do with some merch for Gigs and Ghosts.
We could. Should we do gigs and ghost merch?
Oh,
Does
you
anyone
should.
Yeah.
Tim said that.
I wasn't listening. But yeah, so anything else you want to say about your life in music before we move on to the next chapter?
I think that's it. I've had a very, very limited life in music
no, it's
thanks
been
to
good.
my
It's been exciting.
years of alcoholism.
I've enjoyed all that you've said so far.
Good, I hope so.
So now we're going to move on to the second part of this podcast, the ghosts part of the
Okay.
Gigs and Ghosts. And I like to always start this part. That rhymes. I'm a fucking lyrical genius, man. Davey Clegg, Handsome Liars.
Yeah.
Do you believe in ghosts?
This might surprise you. No.
Right.
This season's been a bit of
Yeah, I mean, we've had a few you pieces of shit on.
Yeah,
guests on.
So here's what we do: we go like, there's a podcast where we can promote ourselves. Like, let's just make it work. Like, I don't believe in ghosts, but I'm sure I'm gonna knock something.
Why wouldn't you believe in ghosts?
Right. Okay. So I'll preface this as well by saying,
I'm going to lie up now because I'm furious.
I don't believe in ghosts, but I had a ghostly thing happen.
You see, I've had some guests like this, right?
Yeah.
And they say this sort of shit, and then they tell me the most terrifying ghost story that you'll ever hear. You're just like going, how do you not believe me? You just told me a ghost story where a ghost literally climbed inside your anus.
I think so. If that's the sort of story you've been having, I think my story is going to disappoint. I think it's going to disappoint spectacularly. But I think it's good because it happened to me.
Well, let's hear it, Davey Clegg.
Okay. So, have you ever been on any of the ghost tours in Edinburgh?
Yes, I went on the
He
underground
almost
one.
walked there, bro.
Right? Oh, yeah.
There was a light taking me towards.
So, did you, so you did the vaults?
Yeah.
Okay, so for people who don't know what the vaults are, back in the olden days, I'm not going to pretend I know the dates.
No, tell us the dates.
Nope. They basically they made all these vaults for keeping like just shit in, keeping food and I guess ghosts in. Yeah. And they're like, perfect. This is a great place to store everything we own. And then it just got damp. And they're like, well, this is a waste of time. Let's build over it. And they literally just built the city upward over the vaults. And all the poor people went, oh, that's real estate. they went, I can live there, even though the conditions will be fucking terrible. At least I won't be outside.
Basically, Demolition Man.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's what happened. And then, so you go. I won't ruin the tour by talking people through everything on it.
Yeah, and it would be really boring if you do that one. Because they do
absolutely.
the voices and shit.
Oh, my tour guide didn't do voices.
Yeah.
No.
Was he dressed up?
No, it was a she. Come on, guys.
Oh, sorry.
This is 2023.
Just about.
So you just had this tour, then?
Huh?
So this tour, it was this year, then?
Oh, I can't. I have no concept of time. It was either this year or last year.
2022.
Yeah.
But the last few years.
Last few years. So, yeah, so we're going through, and I'm obviously skeptical, but I really want to see this fucking underground city. Who doesn't want to see an underground city? Yeah. And so we get towards the end of the tour, and the guy goes, okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn my torch off now so you can see just how dark it was in here. Or when people were living down here. Just imagine the cramped space, everybody's like...
Why was dark?
Like darker.
Yeah,
it was the darkest thing I've ever experienced. Like, it was just so oppressive.
Have you ever tried nighttime? That's pretty dark.
It was darker than nighttime.
Jesus.
It was darker than having your eyes closed. So, yeah, it was creepy, but I was like, well, nothing's going to happen. And all the way through the tour so far, loads of guests had been like, yeah, I can feel it. I can feel the spirit. And like, can you though? That was my sort of reaction to it. And so what happens is we're stood in a circle and the guy goes, okay, just want to take a moment to appreciate the darkness and the silence. And I start feeling like fingers on the backs of both of my legs. And I'm like, somebody's fucking with me. Like, the tour guide's got a plant who's here, or like Liv's doing this. Liv is my wife. And I sort of reached down just to like bat away what or whoever's doing it. And nothing is. There's nothing there. But the sensation keeps on going. I'm like, this is fucking weird. I still didn't freak out until the tour guide goes, so in this room, there was a mother of 3 children. And when there was a fire in the city, all the people decided, well, we'll be safe if we barricade ourselves in here, which was the opposite because they cooked alive in there. And she said, so it's a very, very sad story. That the ghost of that woman haunts this place even to this day. And she was well known for loving her kids. She used to play with all the kids and make them laugh. And she used to tickle the backs of their legs. And I just went fucking cold. I was just like, what? This can't be. I am skeptical to a point of like, there's no fucking way you can change my mind. And then literally... completely unexplained phenomenon, unprompted. Like, it was just too perfect. And like when we're filing out of the room, I was like, I cannot be the last person out of this room. No fucking way. No fucking way. So yeah, I know it's not much of a story.
It is a good story though, man. It is a good story. You know?
I hope so.
So did it actually feel like proper hands?
Yeah, like fingers, like just sort of creeping, like for the viewers you can see. Just like that.
Ouch.
Ouch. Oh man. So yeah, that was my ghost story.
That was a good ghost story, to be honest, man. I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah. Ash told me one last night. Do you want
Did
to hear
he?
Ash's?
Yeah, I want to hear Ash's ghost story.
So this one really did creep me out because he's very much the same as me. He doesn't believe at all. But he said when he was a kid, there were two incidents that happened in the house. And one was, you know, the baby bouncer things. It was like yeah. Apparently that started moving on its own for like 30 seconds and then just stopped dead. Okay. Ash was really, really young at this point.
Yeah.
And doesn't remember it, but his dad has told the story and like freaked him out. Then he said, as he got older, he had this, do you remember the old remote control cars that had the big, long aerials that would bend like that?
Yeah.
And
Go to and fro.
For the listeners, that's to and fro, hither and thither.
Yeah.
Viewers as well.
There are, but for those who can't see,
most people listen, you see.
Yeah. So hither and thither, and so it gets to bedtime. Ash is going to bed, and he's a good lad. Good lad is Ash.
He's a lovely.
He's a very
Salt of
good
the
lad.
earth.
He is, and he puts his RC car away in the wardrobe, which is like a thin wood wardrobe, so not a lot of room either side of where this thing is. Shuts the door, goes to bed. And he just starts hearing this, and it's clearly like the aerial knocking against both sides of the thing, just furiously. Like it just starts on its own, and that did take me cold. And like he called for his dad, who like apparently like just came in, picked up the RC card without a word, like just looked like this is horrifying, and just left. But they just never spoke a word of it.
Yeah, because that's the thing about parents, they'll see some shit.
Yeah.
And they don't want to freak the kid out, but they're freaking out. You know, the dad's downstairs.
Yeah.
Drinking straight whiskey, just chain smoking. Going, okay, now. His wife comes in. Yeah, all right. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. We're going to bury this.
It's her again. Yeah. Will my mistakes never leave me?
Yeah, you see that's creepy. And what was his other ghost story?
They were the two.
Oh yeah, they were too. Yeah. I totally forgot about the other one because that one was terrifying.
It was really harrowing.
You see, it's like I remember when I first started believing in ghosts. I was a kid, about 3 years old, and we lived in like an old farmhouse in Emily, and like weird shit had happened there all the time. But yeah, like my brother Chris.
Hi, Chris.
He used to like. My mum would like tell stories about like she'd hear him talking to someone, and she'd go, but he'd just be sat in the end of the bed talking to somebody, and he'd be hearing voices, and he'd go, "I'm talking to the man with the dogs," and, and just fucking awful. We moved out of that house eventually, due to the fact it was riddled. I had two experiences there which have just stayed with me. Like the first one was waking up in the night and seeing a hand on my pillow, a very white, sweaty hand.
Sweaty.
I always remember it was like it looked pretty wet, and it was there as clear as day, and I just started screaming and screaming and like Mum runs in, takes me up, takes me into their bedroom, you know. Let me go back to sleep in that bed overnight. Another time in that house, I woke up one night, you know, when you feel somebody's watching you.
Yeah.
And you'll just wake up and you're just like, did my little 3-year-old yawn.
Mm-hmm.
Looked at the bottom of the bed, and there's just a fucking dude stood there, just staring. Just staring at me.
Which dude?
The scary dude. just right at the end of the bed. And it's like, I'm staring back, not able to do anything, just staring at this man, and just started sobbing.
Oh, God.
And then he just faded away.
Is that when your mum comes in and goes, look, this is just like that time I left the sweaty hand.
Just let them in. Let them in.
I was just airing out the sweaty hand.
I've got...
I was on that hand.
I've got 5 members, like 6 members of that house. 2 which are quite nice, and the other 4 are just harrowing.
Yeah,
because it was an old farmhouse, and like I remember there being an open fire there, and we'd get mice all the time because it was a farmhouse. And so my dad would catch him, chuck him in the fire, and I'd just be there watching these fucking mice burn, going.
Fuck.
And I remember I used to like my dummy, and how my dad stopped me sucking my dummy, took it out of my mouth, chucked it in the fucking fire.
Oh,
Don't talk to him much anymore.
I can bet. Yeah.
The nice ones were, you know, I remember my first ever memory was in that house, and I was eating tomato soup. Fucking love tomato soup, man. So good memory. And there was a man who lived next door who rode a motorbike called George. I used to get a plastic bucket from outside, and put it on my head and walk around going, "I'm George." I'm George. But yeah, it's
Until he took offence.
And then I found out George didn't exist. He'd been dead for 34 years.
And he died in a bucket.
He died in a bucket. He drowned. He drowned.
The motorbike was called George.
It's like, my mum was telling me another story from there, which is not to a ghost, but just kind of like, it's just always continue with being the sort of shit that happens in my life. Like, once I'd gone missing, and so mum's wondering where the fuck I am, and George's wife knocked at the door, came in with me and my little sheep that I used to push around, which had wheels on. She was, I just found him. Where was I? Walking down the middle of the road, following the lines with his sheep. Trying to get away from the sweaty hand and the staring man.
I just love that the hand was sweaty. Like really white.
Really just wet.
I just like that in like, especially modern horror stuff. You get like you get a lot of corpses that have drowned, and then you see them and they're all covered in water. Oh, do you remember that awesome one with Michael Palin? Did you watch that horror show with Michael Palin in? Like, it was set in like Bradford. It's about a girl that drowned. I swear I've talked to you about this before.
I don't know.
Well, every time he'd see her, it was like, I think she was.
I'm gonna type in Michael Palin drowning woman.
Just one of him on his adventures drowning some woman. She said no.
We're here today in India. Here's a question for you: Who would you like to be haunted by?
Ooh,
that's that for him. Robin Williams.
No, man. No, just watch him go.
Trying to go to sleep. Not gonna let you go to sleep.
Not Robin. No, God. Brittany Murphy.
Oh, that's good.
Sexy ghost. Like, so like we always ask this question on this like podcast. Is like, let's say you did believe in ghosts. Would you have sex with a ghost?
My throat made a noise then. Let's edit that out.
No.
Let's isolate it.
That can be your new theme song. You can have that.
I've got a Christmas version, that's fine.
Yeah, well, it's from next year. What was the question? Have sex with a ghost?
Yeah.
If it was possible, like...
Kesha did it.
I don't know what you're referring to because I'm very out of touch with
the singer Kesha.
I know there's a singer called Kesha.
She claims to have had sex with a ghost.
Oh, really? Okay. The only point of reference I've got from that is that film, The Entity, where that woman is assaulted by a ghost.
Tough wank.
So tough.
But you get through.
Yeah, cut that one.
delete.
What were we saying? Okay, well, yeah, like naturally, like anybody that would, right?
No,
But-
because most people say no.
Well, they wouldn't have sex with a ghost.
Yeah, yeah.
Like this
Normally
is.
because they're married or something.
Well, yeah. I mean, this is obviously assuming I'm not.
Maybe you're not now.
I just thought it was. Yeah, probably. Liv would say the same. I reckon she'd be like, "Yeah,
You're not married now.
that's probably yeah." I'll get home and she'll be like, "Oh well, yeah, I heard everything." Me and my new ghost boyfriend are eloping.
He's not living.
We've got because Callum, the producer of the show. Hi, Callum.
Hello.
You're not a believer, but you've said that you won't do a Ouija board.
No, I won't.
Would you do a Ouija board?
Yeah, I would because I find it absurd.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because there's another one like how are you talking about ash in a salt of the earth doesn't bullshit, and like some of the people who have told me stories over time, like my mum and shit. Have told me some terrifying things that have happened, and like and like my mum, you mentioned Ouija boards, and she's just like, stay the hell away from Ouija boards.
Right. So when my mum was alive, she would not have entertained doing a Ouija board. She was very much a believer in ghosts. And probably the reason I don't believe is because she hadn't haunted me and gone, do more with your life.
Maybe she's just given up.
Maybe she visits my siblings.
Yeah, she's
instead.
at your brother's and sister's house going, fucking Davey.
Cowpunk? What's that?
Look at that stupid fucking hat. And who wears sunglasses on stage, the
Yeah.
prick?
Hey, guess what I did to him? He was playing a country festival. I possessed a wasp.
I'll take it back with his legs.
Yeah, well, in Edinburgh. Tickle it legs. That'll teach him.
Yeah, I can see that. But no, she would have never entertained the Ouija board idea. And yeah, a few people I know who've done it said no, it was the worst experience. And
I hated it. I've done it once and it was, I'll never do it again.
What happened?
It fucking moved is what happened.
Okay.
And that was not nice.
But it wasn't just one of you moving it.
No. It's like our fingers were literally just the lightest amount on.
Right, okay.
And
You want to demonstrate?
like this. Yeah, it was like so light. And it was moving. It started like moving pretty slow.
Mm-hmm.
And it was answering questions and like weird questions, You're just like going, oh, this is a bit fucking weird.
Yeah.
And then it was when we were doing up the new parish, to be honest.
Right.
Because it's an old courthouse, people
Okay.
were hung there and
They
stuff.
were. They were hanged. There probably were some hung people there, but
Yeah, me, baby. No, not
Big
me.
Mike.
Not me. No, but yeah, it was saying stuff and like it was just creepy because there's that people have said they get this either a really nice feeling where they feel really content, or just this feeling of heaviness and something's just not right.
right.
And it started like going, oh, this is quite cool, blah, blah, blah. And then it started moving a lot more jerky and it was someone else. And it was just like, then it was like, the whole feeling in the room changed. Everyone was like, went from like laughing, having a nice time to like, everyone kind of went fucking quiet. And we're all like looking at each other. And this one that we're talking to, he was obviously not happy because he told us.
What did he spell out? Brexit means Brexit.
Yeah. It's like I almost said something terrible then. But yeah, it was just a really bad thing, and like you've got to say goodbye to stop it and stuff like that. So we say because otherwise they're gonna hang around. So it's like all right, oh well, thanks for talking to us, goodbye, and we would do, and it went to the goodbye, and then we took his hands off, and then it just jerked a little bit more to the side. And that was not cool. So yeah, I said goodbye.
Yeah.
But yeah, then it was just all just really quiet. Everyone's just like looking around. And then we looked at the thing and he did like this weird wobble.
When nobody's touching it.
Yeah, it's like
Right.
yeah, fuck that shit.
Right.
Fuck that shit.
I think I can see why you'd be like that. I suppose my thing about it is, it seems paranormal stuff seems to affect certain people more than others.
Yeah.
Right. And so, like, if I've never been a skeptic to the point of, you're stupid for believing that. Because I believe that you believe it, and I just haven't seen what you have.
That's dumb. If you go
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. I suppose the thing that made me more skeptical was Derek Acora, right? so
Mary loves Dick.
yeah. So, like, my mum used to love Most Haunted.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I've watched a lot of it because my mum used to watch it.
But that is for entertainment
Sky
purposes,
Living,
you know.
Channel 24,
Sure.
on the old NTL box.
Yeah.
But of course, there's going to be charlatans about who are going to try and take advantage of that to make a quick buck.
100%.
And he was like just
No.
he was like just some Scouser charlatan, wasn't
Yeah. I mean, I one fun thing related to Derek Carr, I had this office job where like where there were lots of calls coming in, and somebody was kicking off making a complaint that I had to ring your company a lot, and man, my phone bill's massive. And we were like, okay, so send in your phone bill, and if you have been ringing us, we'll reimburse it if we've kept you on the phone too long. And so like we checked it out, and the reason his phone bill was so massive was because he'd been ringing Derek Acora's psychic hotline.
I thought you were going to say it was Derek Acora.
Oh, imagine it, because I don't know if he was still alive at that point, but if he still had a hotline, that would make me believe.
Yeah. I used to love when he got possessed.
Oh, so good.
So good.
You bitch.
Yeah, just saying to the wrestler what he actually thinks about them.
Yeah.
I'd like to
Never said anything that can't be broadcast on TV, though.
Yeah. Well, do you remember like when it was at the Design House in Halifax? You know, in Dean Clough Mills. There's and I don't think it's the Design House anymore, but it was like this. It fancied itself as like a bougie sort of pub. And they just had it redone, and he gets possessed and starts running around everywhere and just trashing the fucking place. And like on camera, the owner's going, "I've just had that bought. I've just bought that, and I've just had that done." And he was still just running around like a fucking lunatic. So I kind of respect him for that.
Maybe he was really possessed that one time.
Maybe.
But David, you got to see the greatest ghost picture in the world.
Will it ruin all of the ghost pictures for me?
Well, maybe not. But this is a friend of mine, and I show it every guest.
Okay.
Because I'll tell you about the story afterwards, because I tell it every time, and like basically it's a friend of mine in a hotel.
Okay.
On a chat with his wife on a thing.
Okay.
A haunted hotel, taking the piss.
Okay.
And then she took a screenshot and went, "Stop it."
Okay.
And then she sent him this picture.
Fuck. Yeah, I'd shit myself.
It's like the more you look at it, the more you see it, and you zoom in, and like you can see through her and everything. It's just like it's not a nice thing to see.
No. She definitely looks like sort of Victorian era noblewoman.
Yeah.
So she's probably
like Sephiroth.
I think.
Oh yeah.
Do you know who I think it looks a bit like? Tweety Pie's mum.
Maybe that's who it is.
Maybe.
Is that a character?
In Tweety Pie, the old lady.
Oh, I thought you just meant like what would be her mum if they were a character.
His birth month.
I'm not here. It's fine.
Talking a lot for someone who's not here.
I was about to ask him who he'd like to be haunted by.
Yeah, who'd you like to be haunted by, Callum?
I would say Devon Townsend, but he's not dead yet.
I would quite like to be haunted by someone who's not dead yet. Like their ghost haunts me, and they're just there going, "Oh, what's this?
Hanging out with someone.
What's this? No, they're ghosts.
That's just
It's called getting a cameo.
stalking.
Like an early ghost. I'm not dead yet. Why am I here?
It's like, well, welcome to the podcast. You can never leave.
But Davey, I guess that's the end of this podcast. Thank you for joining me today and the season.
It has been an honour.
Yeah.
I can return to what's left of my family, and they will make me a banquet and probably just solemnly nod.
Yeah, what are you doing for Christmas? I hope you're getting visited by fucking 3 ghosts.
I hope I am as well, just so I can go, "Oh, Mikey, I believe now I'm one of you guys now." But I hope I get visited by a load of wrestler ghosts.
Yeah. Dino Bravo with no face.
British Bulldog would be a good one. Oh, Lord Alfred Hayes.
Oh, Lord Alfred Hayes, yeah.
I'm very sorry. I really like that bedspread.
But you say that, you're like, oh, I want to be visited by the ghosts of some dead wrestlers. And then you just hear... fucking Chris Benoit walks in. Like, oh, no!
You're the only
Stone
one.
Cold Steve Austin's theme
No,
song.
I did it.
Yeah.
Stone Cold stuff.
I like that we sang Chris Benoit's theme on this episode. That seems like
What's he gonna do?
Do not test the spirits, Callum Morris.
Don't test the spectral crippler.
You know which one I'd like to be visited by because I was madly in love with her? Sherry Martel.
Sherry Martel was beautiful.
Beautiful.
And I was listening to a podcast, Wrestle Me, who the host said something that I completely agree with. When I was a kid, I didn't get that Sherry was sexy. Like, she was the villain. Sensational Sherry. Like, she was the villain. And, like, she wasn't... When you're a little kid, it's all... You watch a lot of stuff about heroes and princesses and that sort of thing. And so, like, the nice women always have, like, long blonde hair. And then you've got Sherry, who's, like, acting like a villain. She was so fucking sexy.
I back then, I was madly in love with her.
But you're horny for everything.
Yeah, but it's like, you know, like straight away I was like, she's beautiful. And then when she was with Shawn Michaels and she had a butt out all the time. Yeah, and then when she was with $1 Million Man, those satin outfits.
So can we dedicate this episode to Sherry Martel?
Yeah. So it's Christmas time. It's empty. So sensational Queen Sherry Martel, wherever you are in the afterlife, keep being fit.
I'll drink to that.
Oh yeah, dig it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, if he was being visited by
A few times the cream did rise to the top. But
I don't want the Ultimate Warrior to visit me.
no, because you know,
He's a
good.
racist,
Try to sell you his
homophobic cunt, and he'd just make a right mess of everything.
Oh god, he said some stuff.
He was a dreadful bastard.
He did.
Like, you know how you get people going, oh, you shouldn't speak ill of the dead. Fuck that guy. Fuck the Ultimate Warrior.
And Chris Benoit.
And Chris Benoit, obviously.
He did some worse.
Yeah, but Ultimate Warrior didn't have like all the brain shit.
Oh,
making
the thing was wrong with his noodle.
That's right. Yeah, Ultimate Warrior chose to be a
Welcome
cunt.
to Gigs
Yeah,
and
this is
Grats,
true.
by the way.
This is
is
true.
the new part of the podcast.
Yeah, it's a side hustle.
But yeah, so that is it. And thank you, Davey, for being the last guest of season
Thank
3.
you.
Thank you all for listening this whole season. I hope you've enjoyed. Like I said, Christmas is around the corner. You won't have listened to the last few podcasts, so you won't know my belief. But remember, people, Santa is real. Just not how you know him. So we'll see you next time. We'll see you for season 4. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Scissor me, daddy.
Scissor me.
Fucking nerds. See you next time.